Because I am. That's right, everyone. It's just Fitz, and the reason why you're not the main character is because I am. Or at least that's what I'd like to believe, as someone with a severe case of main character syndrome. A sickness which causes one to view their lives like a movie, and themselves as the main character. And according to Kate Rosenblatt, this is an extremely real mental health condition that exists in real life and definitely not only in pop culture. And that leaves me concerned. Concerned that one day my condition will lead me to becoming an insufferable person that views themselves as more important than the people around them. Like an Attack on Titan fan. But it was this concern which drove me to desiring a cure. Or rather, a treatment to negate all of the negative symptoms of main character syndrome. And so, I set out to go to a place where literally everyone thought they were a main character. Comic-Con, Los Angeles. I thought that maybe if I conducted research there, I'd be able to find an antidote to my self-righteous poison. This was all I've documented, and all I've learned. When I had first gotten to the convention, I was immediately greeted by a wide cast of characters. Some were quite vocal.
I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Others, not too much.
Well, I'm dead inside and I'm Jewish.
But the first people to fully grasp my attention were two little boys dressed up as characters from the greatest adventure series of all time, Fight Me. Although I was excited seeing them dress up in the garments of peak fiction, I was also quite frightened. Could it be that main character syndrome took root in the minds of the young?
Do you guys see yourself as a main character?
Yes.
Why?
We scream.
It was far worse than I thought. Not only were these two children infected with MCS, but it pained them to the point of screaming. I needed to find that antidote as soon as possible, because the lives of the children were at stake. Luckily for me, I was only at the beginning of my journey. It was time to go inside of the convention. Instantly, I was confronted with hundreds, no, thousands of people with MCS.
Do you see yourself as the main character in life?
I do.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
In my own book, yes.
It was like I was home, in a sea of people that viewed themselves the same way I did.
I look at my life kind of like a movie. Everybody and everything that happens progresses the movie forward, you know what I mean? So
I imagine myself, every little angle I turn, there's a camera that's looking right at me.
But as I pressed forward with the interviews, I soon came to recognize that main character syndrome existed on more of a spectrum that could be marked by three main stages. Stage 1, complete subjectivity. The people whose condition existed in this stage saw themselves as the main character, but only within their own lives. This is the most mild form of MCS because although these people saw themselves as main characters, it didn't stop them from allowing others to be main characters as well.
Bro, when am I not the main character? When are you not the main character?
I am the main character in my own story.
Everyone's a main character.
Everyone should feel like the main character in their own story.
I'm living my story, you got your story. You Black Panther, I'm Batman.
Wait, why am I Black Panther? Let's talk about that.
I could be Black Panther.
Stage 2, egoic subjectivity. Much like in stage 1, the people within this stage derive their MCS from a subjective point of view. However, due to a unique experience, talent, skill, or character trait, these people had a heightened sense of self-importance. Self-importance that put their story above the story of others.
See, is that what I'm
So
hearing?
you got the main character.
You got the
me,
main character.
Right? Me.
Right.
Then you got
The side characters. So you see yourself as the main character.
Yeah.
But what does that make everybody else?
Spectators. They're gonna love it when I fall, and they're gonna love it even more when I'm up.
If I had to diagnose myself, I'd say I'd be within this stage as well. Cause like y'all can be main characters, but you just not like me though, you feel me? Sorry. My symptoms got the better of me. However, there was still one stage I was yet to pass. Egoic objectivity, also known as the complete and utter denial of anyone's story having any significance outside of your
So
own.
if you're the main character, then what about everybody else?
oh, well, everybody else revolve around me and what I do. I don't see everybody else unless I'm here. So if I'm not here, I don't see everybody else.
Right.
In their brains, existence was specifically made for them and them only.
There may be some side characters that are important to me, you know what I mean? But everyone else around me, it doesn't really matter.
Me, I'm a supporting character in your life.
You goddamn right.
At this point, main character syndrome had completely enveloped their psyche, manifesting into an outward expression that was extremely cringy, otherwise known as a main character complex.
I'm the leader and everyone else are my sidekicks.
Like even me standing right here, I'm a side character.
Yeah, you're just a vessel in my life that you're just there for me.
It's actually very comforting to hear, you know, because everybody wants to feel that they're not important and they're just a vessel for somebody else's character development. You feel me?
I feel you.
Right, exactly.
After observing these stages, it immediately became clear that the less relevance you were willing to give people, the further down the spectrum you were. And so, I had thought that the cure had something to do with being more selfless, more caring, more kind, or more humble. But after reflecting on my own life, I realized that it was my identification with those traits that made my condition stronger. Like, of course I'd be the main character because I'm humble, kind, caring, and selfless. But why did I think that? Why did I associate those traits with what it meant to be a protagonist? It was clear that if I wanted to find that antidote, I had to deconstruct exactly what it meant to embody a main character. And something told me that cosplay was a good place to start.
What character are we dressed up as today?
I am Jem from Jem and the Holograms, which is an animated series from the 1980s. It's always fun to dress up like someone else and be someone else for the day.
Okay.
You lose some of the inhibitions that you kind of have in your regular life. I'm normally pretty shy, believe it or not.
But when you dress up as this character, you feel less shy, maybe more bold.
I do. I think what you embody in yourself is what you can become. I think dressing up in a character, especially a strong character, allows you to do that.
Do you think that a lot of people dress up as their favorite characters in order to like mask who they really are or elevate who they really are?
I would say in an event like this, it's more so to like feel elevated.
After talking to multiple cosplayers,
Say what again? Say what again?
I was beginning to understand that embodying a main character meant to simply live out the traits and or the philosophies that resonated with you and elevated you as a person. For many of us, those traits were seen in heroes, and others in villains.
So the point of evil is to move people forward, which is an alternatively dark good that no one wants to do. And I choose it because I like helping people.
Anyway, after gathering much data, I came to the conclusion that in regards to MCS, it didn't really matter what those traits were. What did matter was how much they had an impact on you and when you began to embody them. And after reflecting back on the children that I had met earlier on in my journey, I remembered that I too had begun to embody those traits at a young age. You see, I was born with this thing called ptosis, which gave me an extremely noticeable droopy eyelid all throughout childhood. And although I was naturally extroverted, as people started to point it out and I faced my own insecurities, I began to hide who I really was. And with nobody else in my life that really looked like me or could speak to my experience, I developed a pervasive sense of anxiety. But then I remembered one day I went to my godbrother's house and he turned on this show about a ninja in an orange jumpsuit. And he was a kid like me. And although he had a demon fox in his belly and I had a nerve dysfunction in my eyelid, there was something about seeing him overcome a lot of the similar struggles that I went through that gave me the framework to do the same. After all, for a lot of main characters like Orange Jumpsuit Ninja Kid, every bit of pain they went through was relevant to making them stronger, happier, and an overall better person. And I feel that much like cosplay, a lot of us put on the appearance of a main character in order to reap the benefits of that framework. And it felt good to make sense of all of my pain and to heal. And so, if it made me feel a little bit better than everyone else, I shouldn't be looked at as any different for that, because it's justified. How could I ever expect myself to let go of something that felt so right? I mean, our perspective is all we have, right? So who cares if I indulge it to the fullest of its capacity? I deserve it. Who cares if I'm seen as insecure? Because I deserve it. So what if I'm seen as self-centered? So what if I'm seen as incapable of seeing your perspective? The stages of main character syndrome don't exist. I made it up for a YouTube video. And you know what else, folks? There is no cure. Because there's nothing to be cured. I am the main character, the bearer of my own destiny. And because everyone else thinks of themselves that way, there's no reason why I should be expected to see life any differently.
Do you see yourself as a main character?
No.
What?
I kind of picture myself more as a side character.
Do you like that?
Yes, because I help everyone out, so I don't really mind.
Because I feel like in life, everybody kind of wants to be the main character, right? So meeting somebody that actually doesn't really want that, like,
Right.
I don't know. Would you want it if it presented itself in front of you, or are you cool helping out your friends and family?
Well, I'm cool being the side character. I'm cool helping out my friends and yeah.
I was dumbfounded, perplexed, ambushed by knowledge. Never before had I met anyone who willingly called themselves a side character and were at peace with that. I thought that being a side character was a sign of oppression, but in his eyes, I saw nothing but someone who was liberated. I didn't get it. To me, embodying a main character was the only way to make sense of life, especially if I saw it as a movie. But perhaps I didn't know enough about movies. So I talked to someone that did, a TikTok famous movie reviewer that goes by the name of Straw Hat Goofy.
If you're not trying to be the main character, I find that life tends to get harder for a lot of people. And so I think it's important for your mental health to see yourself as that main character and just go all out with whatever you're trying to do. But then there comes a time where you might have to be somebody else's supporting character. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Vader, he just had his panel like putting out his new film, and that's his movie. He's the main character in that situation.
Right.
I'm not there to hijack. I'm not there to be like, yo, like it's me.
Yo, like it's me. It's all about me right now.
It's my turn to be the support character in that situation.
Right, right. Thank you so much for this interview, man. You was spitting.
We all need stories, and stories need characters. And while it's perfectly fine to see ourselves as the main characters within our own stories, it's important to understand that objectively speaking, you are not the main character, but neither am I. We're both just one piece in a larger interconnected story.
Is this a crossover episode?
That's why if main character syndrome was an actual disease, its worst symptom wouldn't be an inflated ego or a heightened sense of self-importance, but blindness. Blindness to the rich tapestry or collection of stories playing out all around us. And I understand why we put ourselves there willingly, because there's comfort in the things that we understand, especially if what we understand makes us feel important. But recognizing that we're not the center of the universe is not a reason to feel irrelevant, but rather an invitation to play your part as a character in a story much bigger than you.
At the end of the day, we're supporting cast to each other, and if we're uplifting and building each other up, the show's gonna be great either way.
So, I'm going to continue to wear the cosplay of a main character for my own sanity. But every once in a while, I'll take it off to be the best support character I can possibly be. And if main character syndrome was real, I believe that would be the cure. It's Fitz, just Fitz, and I overthought this, so you don't have to. Peace!
Can I hold the gun?
Absolutely, man.
Thank you.
Just don't shoot.
Listen.